Assalamu alaikum, dear all. Still in solving trigonometric equations. We are in problem number 10. It says solve the trigonometric equation. Sine x minus cosine x equals 1. Sine x minus cosine x equals 1. In this form, we cannot solve this equation. Sine x cosine x equals 1 given x from 0 up to 2 pi. Given x more than or equal 0, less than 2 pi. In this form, we cannot solve this equation. So, we need to do anything just to separate them, just to make this sign multiplication, the right side equals 0, stuff like this. So, in this one, I'm gonna square each side. The left side and the right side. So I'm gonna write here sine x minus cosine x all square equals 1 all square. If you square the two sides of any trigonometric equation, by the end, you have to do substitution from the solution, because some solutions will be refused. So by the end, you have to check the solutions. So x sine x minus cosine x all square equals 1 square. 1 square is 1. What about the left side? The left side here takes the form of x minus y all square. And you know that x minus y all square equals x square. So sine square minus 2xy minus 2 sine x cosine x plus y square plus cosine square x. This is equal 1 square, which is 1. 1 square, which is 1. Now, we need to simplify. We need to reduce this side, the left side. We have here sine square plus cosine square. The identity of sine square plus cosine square, sine square plus cosine square, we have taken this one many times before, equals 1 minus 2 sine x cosine x equals 1. So we can just subtract 1 from each side. I'm gonna subtract 1 from here and subtract 1 from here. So negative 2 sine x cosine x is equal to 0. Then divide each side by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. So sine x cosine x is equal to 0. Now, either sine x is equal to 0, cosine x is equal to 0. How to get the solution for sine x equals 0 and cosine x equals 0? I told you before, if the solution is one of the numbers, 1, -1, or 0, use the unit circle. Draw the coordinates plane, put the 4 points on the unit circle. These 4 points, the point here 1 and 0, the point here -1 and 0, the point here 0 and 1, the point here 0 and -1. So I'm saying any point here is cosine and sine. What's angle? It's sine equals 0, gives the sine 0. The sine, it means the second coordinate 0, second coordinate 0 here, second coordinate 0 here. So at the angle 0 or at the angle pi. So 0 and pi. So we have here two solutions, 0 and pi. What about here? Cosine x equals 0. The first coordinate equals 0 at pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. So the solution here, pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. And now we have 4 solutions. Which one of these solutions satisfies this equation? We have to start checking the solution. يعني 0 by over 2, 3 by over 2. Do substitution in the left side and in the right side. So sine 0 minus cosine 0 is equal to 1. Sine 0 minus cosine 0, is it equal to 1? Sine 0 minus cosine 0 equals negative 1. So this is not correct. This is false. So 0 is not solution. So 0 here is not solution. Let's go to the second one. Sine by minus cosine by, is it equal to 1? Sine by, sine 180, sine 180 minus cosine 180 equals 1. True. Equals 1. True. Or from here, you can get them from here. Then sine by over 2 minus cosine by over 2. Sine by over 2, 1 minus cosine by over 2, 0. So it's 1. True. The last one, sine 3 by over 2 minus cosine 3 by over 2 is equal to 1. Sine 3 by over 2 negative 1 minus 0 equals negative 1. False. So we have two solutions do not satisfy the equation. So the solution for this equation, so the solution of this equation is equal to the set of by and by over 2. So by and by over 2 are the solution for this equation. Now on your own, follow same strategy of solving this one. Solve cosine x minus sine x equals negative 1. Cosine x minus sine x equals negative 1, and x more than or equal 0, less than by over 2, or less than 2 by. Less than 2 by. Then send me the answers on the WhatsApp group.